Hi all, Planetside Agent here. Today I'm going to take a look at my backpacking skiing survival kit, so stay tuned. Okay, what I have here is the survival kit that I usually take along in my day pack or my backpack, or the the day pack I use for hiking, and then I have a different one I use for cross-country skiing. Um, I've been thinking about doing a video on this kit for quite a while, but usually it's buried at the bottom of the pack. So since today I'm getting ready to swap my spring, summer, fall day pack out for my winter cross-country skiing pack. So now would be a good time to do this, because when I'm done with this, it'll go back in the bottom of the pack and stay there until spring when I swap the packs out again. So anyway, so I got it in a nylon bag that I actually made myself. This thing is ancient. Back in the day, I could buy the fabric and make stuff sacks myself. They were a lot cheaper than buying commercial stuff sacks, but that's a different thing. So, and this thing is some of the stuff I've had for decades. Other stuff is relatively new additions, because of technology and this, that, and the other thing. So anyway, so let's start off here at the top. You can see everything here. I have two wet fires. Those are the fire starters. They'll actually, you can light them and stick them underwater and they'll still burn. So these are really good emergency fire starters. Got a couple of those. I have a emergency space blanket. I know some people say, well, they're not really worth it, but I tell you what, one, they're better than nothing, and two, they're very light. They weigh nothing, and they're compact. So anyway, I have one of those, and I got about I think this is about, I don't know, 25 feet or more of paracord. This is the real stuff. It came from a real parachute that I got in survival school, Air Force survival school, when we busted up parachutes to make harnesses and tents and everything else. I should dig out my old tent that I made in survival school. I still have it, along with another, it's called an Alaska pack strap. I should do a video on that. I got to find it. It's buried somewhere. So, and next, this is the newest addition to my survival kit. And what this is the Fire Ant titanium stove. And also within that, talk about redundant fire starters. I've got some of those quicks, fire quicks, that they're impregnated with something, they burn really well. So I threw in a few of those in here. So I've got a lot of, well, like anybody, I have a lot of redundant ways to start fires. But the reason I got this was, if I'm out in the, if I have to overnight or something like that, especially in the wintertime around here, in the Oregon Cascades, I mean, you can get 8, 10, 12 feet of snow, so it's kind of a long way to dig down to the ground where you can start a fire. So what you sometimes you can do is find a log or something that you can knock the snow off of, and this would be easier to set up to burn, to melt snow. I actually carry one of these Ollie Camp stoves in the pack because of the my water bottle nests in there, so I can use this to melt snow or boil water, make tea or whatever in an overnight situation. So I thought this would work much better than trying to start a fire on the snow. I mean, you can always cut other wood and stack up on top of the snow, but eventually it's going to melt down, which I think this, for doing a fire, especially in the winter, this would be much better technique. And it's the titanium, it's the lightest one they have, so I can't remember what it weighs, 3 or 4 ounces. Anyway, I added that to the kit just recently. Okay, next. This is probably most of the some of the original pack. It's in a Ziploc bag. I guess I'll open this up. I really don't want to have to repack it, but I'm doing it for you guys. So anyway, in here, what I got, I have another fire starting. This is the magnesium block with the ferro rod on it. And this is the good one because it's got all the information on here. Don't get the cheap Chinese knockoffs because the magnesium bar you get isn't worth a squat. I know I've bought some of those like at Harbor Freight, and you know the fire steel works, but the magnesium's pretty bad. So wouldn't recommend it. These are quite a bit more expensive than the ones you can get at Harbor Freight, but you know it's worth it, especially when you're behind. it's on the block. Okay, here I have some stormproof matches. I don't know if you've ever seen these. They're the ones that are really thick, and once you get them started, you're not putting them out. So windproof matches, or also waterproof. What else I got in here? Okay, I got an old film canister, which you can't, well, I imagine you might be able to get them, but they're pretty rare. I got tons of these from back in the day when you shot 35mm film, but these are great little containers for storing stuff in. And in here, I guess I'll take it all out. I've got some rubber bands. I have a clevis pin. This is for my, I have a frame backpack that I used to use. I haven't used it for quite a while. And use these clevis pins to attach the bag to the frame, and in case one of those broke, I had a backup. And I have a needle, a couple needles, and some thread, and I got some really thin wire just rolled up on a piece of dowel pin, and that's all inside the film canister. Let's see. Okay, next I've got, you know, classic match safe with the little ferro rod on the bottom. It's waterproof match safe, and in here I just got a bunch of waterproof matches. I think it's the which brand is that? One of the brands of the waterproof matches that are in there. So that's there. So I got more ways of starting fire. See, what do I got here? Oh, surprised I still have these in here. What I have here is these are those old fire tabs that used to use back in the old rations, Army Sea Rats probably, to heat up your fuel. They're just little fuel tabs. They make a great fire starter. So I got a roll of those. They're just individual, little round solid fuel tabs. And then around this I have some, well, this is the old ripstop tape. I probably should replace it with duct tape because duct tape sticks better than the old ripstop tape. But like I said, some of this kit goes way, way back. Predates the other kit that I did the video on, which is the one I did. It's up here if I reach it. The other video I did. I'll put a link to this one. This is the survival kit I made when I was in the Air Force for flying. So some of this stuff predates that. Everything I have is old. Of course, I'm old, so it makes sense. Okay, and here I have, I've got a little plastic tube of sugar. I got some another little plastic tube that has bouillon cubes, and inside also I threw in some grains of rice to keep the help keep the moisture so the bouillon cubes won't break down, but they eventually will. So you probably should open these things up every now and then and replace them. As you can see, this thing's pretty darn old. And I have a couple of tea bags, so make yourself some tea. Okay, next, piece of foil I can use for a windscreen. Originally, before I got the this stove, I had a little solid fuel burner. It had wings on it, and it had a little bitty round cup that you could stick these fuel tabs in, and then a cup would sit on top. So I had this for a windscreen around it. Always should have a windscreen, and aluminum foil's cheap and light. Throw it in. Nothing else. You can use it for other things. Let's see. Here's a striker for the storm matches. It's just a backup striker. And let's see. Then I got a candle. It's kind of, I wrapped it up in a plastic bag so it didn't, with heat and all, melt and get all over everything. So, and it's been in there so long it's starting to warp, but it'll still burn. And I got some sorted safety pins. And let's see what else we got. Oh, and I have a plastic bag for whatever you want to use it for. So this is the kit that I take with me day hiking and skiing. Of course, I have other things in my pack for survival, which I won't cover today. But this is the basic survival kit. Just like I said, just sits in the bottom of my pack, and I don't know how many decades I've been doing this stuff, but knock on wood, I've never had to use it. So I think if you're prepared and you keep your head about you, you never will. But then again, you never know. Any number of things can happen where you might need to do that. I had my niece's husband, him and his brother went up for a winter climb of Mount Jefferson. And while they were up there, a couple of big logs came down across the road. And this was a winter hike, so there was some snow and winter climb. And so they were trapped. So luckily they weren't too far. They were able to walk down to the highway and get a lift into town and have somebody come out and cut the logs out. Some of the local guys went up to cut the tree out of the road, and those guys up there, they live for that. Drove up in their big trucks and cut that out for them so they got home. So any number of things can happen that would strand you. So best to have this stuff. So anyway, can't think of anything else to say about this. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.